you will regret that. Why didn't I start at age 40, right? Go for it, man. Hi, I'm miltonchang of Bonsaiheirloom. You can see this is a beautiful fall foliage. The Chinese hackberry that I planted from a seed 27 years ago. It's now very, very tall, and it turned beautifully yellow. And then you have the Chinese pistachia, and then the flowering pomegranate, all turning color. It's really a beautiful time of the season. Right now the sun is down. It should be come up in a minute, and it's really beautiful with the sun up. The pistachio tree usually are seed grown, and they can be both male and female. The female are fairly unsightly because they have a lot of untidy looking seed pods. Whereas this particular cultivar is called the Keith Davy, is this one. And the color is particularly vibrant, both mostly red with a tinge of yellow. It's really beautiful. So if possible, for given the same kind of amount of plant care, do get the grafted variety. That really is an indication to you when you start a bonsai, you can grow for many years. You might as well start with a good variety so that you'll be happier in the long run. I want to tell you to click like if you think my video is useful and informative, to give me some encouragement. And subscribe to our channel and tell a friend. We want to expand our bonsai heirloom community. And send us an email address or go to our website to register so we can send you an announcement when we have product available. So today we have one from Timothy. And basically it's a Salcova tree. So basically, he wants to ask me what should I do. So let me make some general comments. First of all, as I always say, first of all, it's really great that you plant it in basically a growing pot, not too early in a bonsai pot, so that the trees will thicken. And Salcova is an excellent choice, although they are both yellow and red foliage. So you may want to look like the ones here are more of a yellow foliage. I think the red foliage is also really spectacular. So what you did right is to put it in growing pot. Now, as I always say, begin with a vision. So for example, the one in the yellow pot, it's way too tall. I mean, it's almost this tall. Now, what do you do with a bonsai that's this tall, right? So, and now that it's got some thickness, I will cut it off to the right height. And you basically have three possibilities. One is at the top growth where it comes out. If you chop it right there, some new apex, some new branches will come out for you to make into apex. And then the second one is lower where there's a little bit of growth there. If you cut it again, there will be a vertical branch coming out for you to make as apex. And the other option for Salcova is you cut it way at the bottom. So your tree is very tall. You want a bonsai about this tall in a broom style. That means the trunk is bare below, and then the rest of it is the top growth. What you can do is you take your tree and chop it to this height, and many, many branches will come out, and they will all grow vertically, getting out of each other's way. And it's kind of a natural broom, and you may do a little bit of shaping, cutting off branches going the wrong direction, but very simply, by simple clipping, you can get it into a nice broom style. I see in Japanese bonsai books, they will actually tie all the branches folded together in the wintertime when there's no leaves. So when they come out, you can then pull it to the exact location where kind of all of the vertical branches, all the upright branches will be evenly spaced. That's actually very easy, but very appreciatively beautiful design, simple but elegant, and simulates what a natural Salcova tree would grow. And then the one in the pot, kind of a greenish pot, You don't need two apex going up like this. Tree can, but you can cut off one, or you can cut off part of each one with different height to simulate the apex is starting to be kind of like this. That's fine too. Yeah, so you can either do a simple apex or double apex, but start the growth at the right height so that you can have a tree of your imagination the way you want it to be. The other point is that in the first tree, you wire it very well by very loosely tying the wire, and you just did it recently. Although I really don't see any need to use wiring. You can actually bend the wire, bend the branches to shape, maybe some anchoring wire or something. That's really too much work. And for the second one, I would say cut back one of the apex and remove the wire like in a month or two or less, because some of the wire you already removed and already girded the tree, and then you remove it and do it again. I would say again, I advocate wiring is a useful technique, but use it sparingly and remove the wire quickly. Okay, the next one, I'm age 40. Is it too late to start bonsai? Well, why not? You can buy a bonsai, or you can start a bonsai in 5 years. You will have a pretty good looking bonsai. You'll only be 45, a young man. As far as I'm concerned, at 40, you're about half my age, and I'm still doing it. So I think generally a bonsai can look nice in 5 or 10 years time frame. So you have plenty of time to enjoy your bonsai. And just imagine if you happen to live to 90 or 80 or 100 for that matter these days, you will regret that, why didn't I start at age 40, right? Go for it, man. The next one, where do I get your nice clipper that you use? It looks very nice and sturdy. Yes. So the question is about the handy dandy clipper that I always use. I like it a lot. So we wind up getting it from China and have it customized with our logo and also put in this nice box. So you can see it's a nice clipper, ergonomic, because this kind of provide a little bit of a resting place. And in fact, you can get it from Amazon. And we also will ship out one of these with each of our tree initially as a promotion for our product. And so I will ship it out with a raffle trees as well as every tree you order in the beginning. Traditionally, bonsai tools are made in Japan, mostly, I suppose, in small volume. And then the Chinese came along and mass produced them because there are so many people in China. And I don't think there's any difference between the mass-produced and the craftsmanship kind of a bonsai tools. But by virtue of the word bonsai, the tools tend to be very expensive, or much more so than the common hand tools that you buy at Home Depot and so forth. So I recommend you look around, and they all work the same. Buy tools that you can buy that are intended for gardening because they are much more higher volume. As a matter of fact, it's not necessarily price gouging, but the fact that you're making small volume, you don't have the benefit of the volume production. So I would try to use hand tool as much as I can, but the clipper, this one is particularly nice because two things. One is the tip is very sharp, so you can reach in and clip the fine ramifications. But the other thing is that it actually can cut pretty heavy branches. So if you have a branch that's thick, what you can do is you can cut into it a little bit and you rotate it. This way you can then cut fairly thick branches with a small little tool. But it does get used up. One other thing is that as you use it, the nuts tend to come loose a little bit. So occasionally you have to hand tighten it so you can clip the fine branches, and eventually you have to throw it away. It's not very expensive, and get new ones, or you can keep two, one for fine branches, and one after you use it a while, you can use it for big branches. So be efficient. I hate to waste, so buy tools that economically functions well. The next one is I would like you to do some tutorial like the windswept and bonsai or whatever style, or the Chinese punching style. Well, in some sense, punching in Chinese just means scenery in a pot, and that's what I've been doing. What I do is I tend to try to take advantage of the natural flow, what I call flow, the motion of the tree. I cut it back to the basic, get rid of all the redundant branches, and let it grow out again. So in manufacturing, it's called the subtractive, which is the cutting off, and the additive, which is let it grow out and you add to it. In the manufacturing, you of course using laser sintering to add the molecules at a time. This way, a couple of things. One is that not every tree of my tree looks alike. Oh, there's some similarity because it reflects my personality, my legacy, right? But on the other hand, every tree is different because they start off with a tree that's different. Whereas I think the Japanese bonsai book trees tend to look quite much alike. They may have very different branches, trunks as they started off, but the rest of it, it's almost a cap and a number one, number two branch and so forth. I think it's admirable because it shows the care that the detail you put into it. But on the other hand, from an artistic creativity point of view, it's really more craftsmanship. I think both are fine, but choose your own method. The only thing I say is that be able to describe why the tree looks that way by using the laws of nature. They're seeking light, that's why it goes that direction and so forth. So yeah, I will do some demonstration of different bonsai. For example, I think Cascade is really wonderful. Windswept, I think it takes a little bit more time to get all the branches to explain how the wind had to shape it, but we should try. I can learn, and we can learn together. Is there any citrus trees you can make into a bonsai? Yeah, like I said a number of times now, I think little tangerines, there are different sizes. Some tangerines are only this size. They're very, very sweet. Then there's that size, and then there's the kumquat that are this size. There's one variety that I call Hong Kong kumquat, which is very tiny, but we can get it into California, so I don't have it. But if you're in other state and happen to come across one, treasure it. They're hard to get. Maybe someday I'll bring some seeds back and try it to start it here. But that citrus is a wonderful tree to make into bonsai. But keep in mind, most of the citrus you buy are grafted, so there will be always this big, ugly graft mark. So air layer above the graft mark, for example, by girding the tree, put the hormone on it, growth hormone in it, and then bury the tree underneath so that it will root out, and then you cut off the bottom to make your bonsai without the graft mark. You mentioned now's the time to repot. Is that really true anywhere? No, not really. I'm sorry. I should mention very clearly, I thought I did, that that's only for mild areas, because for very cold areas, you have to winterize your tree, and it's really better to winterize tree without disturbing the roots first in the fall, but rather wait until early spring and then you cut it. And early spring, in fact, is the best time to repot your tree. You don't have to worry about disturbing the roots of the tree die in the winter time, or you have to winterize it. Famous last word is the trees are almost indestructible in the springtime. So have fun repotting. Again, repotting think about using my root pruning technique to reduce the need for frequent repotting. And it also presents an opportunity to comb out the base to expose more the roots base, and also to reorient the tree to optimize after some growth, because you see the thing differently, and that's how you optimize the tree year after year. I have a branch going inside the S curve. Should I remove it? And the question seems to me, the questioner, I think it's because he has a tree that's somewhat like this, or there's a curve and there's a branch coming out under the curve, within the curve. Well, my answer to you, if you want a quick answer, is yes, get rid of it, because that's not really natural. Generally, branch grow out where it can get sun. And so under the shade of the top S, it's not going to grow well, and it will die off eventually anyway if it does happen to shoot out. So by all means, cut it off. But the simple rule is the following: always be able to explain why a tree grows that way. And if it's not natural, and for that matter, it doesn't look natural because you've been trained by nature, that doesn't happen very frequently. So yes, by all means, cut it off. Well, I have fun, and please click like and to give me some encouragement. And thank you for watching, and I see you next week.